Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a very, very quick tutorial about how to use shadowing to drastically improve your pronunciation in any foreign language that you're learning. First of all, what is shadowing? Shadowing is using some kind of source material of a native speaker speaking the language that you're learning, whether that's Spanish, English, whatever language you are learning as a non-native speaker. You're using this source material and you are imitating or mimicking the native speaker to try to mimic their pronunciation and their flow, their intonation that they use, where their voice rises and falls, etc., in order to develop that same kind of prosody yourself and sound like a native speaker. So the reason that I felt like I needed to make this tutorial is because I'm a language learner too. I've been through this process before, and when I was looking up tutorials about how to do shadowing, which there's plenty of tutorials out there about how to do shadowing, a lot of them are very complicated. It's all about how to download Audacity and take a clip and make the clip a certain length and I don't know, like do all of this stuff that you need to do shadowing in like this very perfect way. And for me, this was a big barrier to starting. It made it seem like something that was really complicated to do, and I tried to do it, but because it was like complicated to set up, I did it very few times in this way. So then I realized on my own that there is a much, much easier way to do it. Basically, the point is this: shadowing does not need to be so complicated, but it's so good to do. It helps you so much. So the simpler you can make it, the better, because if it's simple, that means you're more likely to try it. So let me show you how I did shadowing. When I was learning Spanish, of course, I'm still learning, but when I was more in the beginner and intermediate phases, I still lived in the United States. So I did a lot of driving in my car. So I would put podcasts on the radio in Spanish and just repeat what the person said. So I'm just going to give you an example just with an English podcast. This is a clip from my favorite podcast, Radio Lab. And all you need to do is just pull up a podcast on your phone. I use Spotify. And all you need to do is hit play and repeat what you hear. So this is it, right? So I'm just going to show you, and then I'm going to explain a little bit more about how this works and why it works and why you should do it. So I'm just going to hit play at a random part.
To start an urban debate league. Then it went to Baltimore, then to
And then it went to
Chicago,
Baltimore,
Detroit,
then to
went
Chicago,
Kansas City,
Detroit,
out
went
to
to Kansas
LA,
City,
New York,
to LA, New York, and it just kept moving. So we were almost up to maybe 2 or 3 or maybe 24 cities. So,
if you take a step back,
if you take a step back and look at it all, suddenly you're just within just a few years, you have all of these new black debaters.
And many of those students.
Okay, so you get the idea. The thing is, like I said, it needs to be as simple as possible so that you're more likely to do it. And the other thing is, you might make a lot of mistakes. Like if I did this in Spanish, surely there would be like a lot more mistakes than maybe you just heard me make in English, because obviously I'm a native English speaker. But there might be a lot of mistakes, and that's fine. The point of shadowing is not accuracy. It is not about saying the correct words. It's about the rise and fall of your voice. It is about your intonation. You want to mimic this native speaker, like how they fit their words together and how their voice rises and falls. The kind of melody or rhythm of their speech is what you really want to copy. So I used to do this for Spanish all the time. I would just put something on the radio and mimic as best as I could. And this is going to help you a lot because you will just start to naturally internalize the patterns of the native speaker. So that's it. Shadowing does not have to be hard. Pick something, whatever you like to listen to, press play, and imitate what you hear them say. So hopefully this was useful. Thank you, and see you next video.